welcome back. Oh, what am I doing with the pen? Can't do the whole thing because then you gotta do it like off key. So, I mean, I'm not big enough to get copyright infringement yet, but if, you know, that day where I become monetized, if they go back and they review this video and they're like, oh, you've got more than 15 seconds of the Simpsons theme. Firked. Hello and welcome back to another week with Kimmy. It's another week, so that means it's another theme. Probably not going to do themes for much longer though, because I've only gotten one suggestion, and that suggestion I'm going to keep in my pocket for Halloween time. Since I haven't gotten any more suggestions, I'm running out of ideas, and so over the next couple of weeks I'm probably going to change it up and do different things instead of a theme. But this week though, I am doing a theme based off of the lovely Marge Simpson. You may have seen that Marge has been in the news lately because a certain campaign tried to use her as like an insult to someone else on another campaign, and Marge had a really great clapback, if you will. So I wanted to do a look based off of this amazing character. She's been around forever. 31 years to be exact. She's a year younger than me, and she looks great. She really looks great. I'm gonna see how I play around and get this Marge Simpson inspired look, then just keep watching. Alright, so I got one eye done. I'm gonna go ahead and jump in and do the other eye now, and I figured I would do one off camera. One, to see if I liked the look and like what I could come up with, and then I would walk you guys through how I did it. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. I already got my eye primed and concealed. I like to go in and just make sure and set it with just a little bit of like a translucent powder, or in this case it's from a Smashbox like highlighting and contouring palette, and just making sure I've got a smooth base so nothing is sticking. And then I'm going to go in with a couple of different palettes today. I will try to name all of them as I go, but you guys already know how bad I am at that. So I'm going to start off first with that ABH Nordina collection, the Pro Pigment Volume 2 palette again, and I'm going to go in with the upper shade here. It's A3, I believe. And then I'm just going to go in actually with a really tapered crease brush, and I'm going to pick up just the tip of that pastel yellow color and apply that directly into my crease. And I want to be somewhat precise with it, but I am going to go in and kind of conceal my lid a little bit, so if I go too far down I can always correct it. Once I've got a good amount of that pastel yellow kind of laid down in my crease area, I'm going to start to go in with a deeper tone. I'm just going to use this Anastasia brush, and then I'm actually going to go in with the Jaclyn Hill Volume 2 palette. It's her shade No Joke. I pick that up on the flat side of that brush. Apply that on that outer third. And the biggest thing is using, if you feel like yellow doesn't work for you, it's got to be one of those shades that you layer. Like, you need multiple tones of it, because otherwise it can come off really flat and just not great. And so I've taken that from my outer corner and just kind of applied it all on this side, and then I'm blending it up into my crease area and then slowly starting to bring that inward. And then now I'm going to go in with an even deeper yellow tone. This is from the big Norvina Pro palette. And I'm going to go in with D1, which is just a little touch different than No Joke. It's like a little deeper. And I'm going to apply that along the lower lash line and up some more. Have you guys ever looked into like the Simpson Predicts threads? It seems like they've predicted a lot. The funniest one to me is they predicted that Disney would buy them. I think it was season 10. They had an episode where it was obviously very celebrity heavy, and they had the 20th Century Fox logo, and it just says a division of the Walt Disney Company at the bottom of it. And then cut to 2018 when they're being purchased by Disney. And now you can find all the Simpsons episodes on Disney Plus. Who would have thought? What's really funny to me is I wasn't allowed to watch The Simpsons growing up. I have no idea why. But yeah, they've predicted like Super Bowl winners. They've predicted even like Gaga's like Super Bowl performance. They predicted that. They predicted the current state of the world. And then they posted a couple of like weeks after it happened in 2016. Said something along the lines of like, I hate it when we're right. I think we all felt the same way. I go in with E3 in that same palette. It's almost like a puke color, but it's just like a little deeper. And same thing, just along my lower lash line and up into that outer corner. And then as I've got kind of the dimension that I want, I'm going to start to kind of taper out that edge to give it a little bit more of a wing and a lift to it. Once I kind of got the dimension built that I want on that outer edge, I want to kind of go in and lighten up that inner corner. You could say it's a cut crease, but I don't bring it super high. So, I mean, you can kind of see it when I blink, but you don't see it when I have my eyes open. I just found that cut creases on me don't work as well because I have a heavier fold. I also have really dry eyelids, so if I layer too many cream products or too many things on top of each other, then it starts to get kind of choppy, and I'm not into it. Taking a little bit of the Kat Von D Whiteout concealer, and I'm going to apply that just kind of on that inner section to brighten it up a little bit. This will also be like my adhesive for the shimmer that I'm going to put on top. And I'm going to kind of bring it up and slowly kind of clean up that edge as far as like the blending is concerned. The best way to do this is to look down into a palette, or if you're standing straight forward, same thing, just to kind of tilt your head back. And I'm stopping it about right in the center of my eye because that's kind of where I want the shimmer to stop. And then now I'm going to go in with the shade C2 from this AVH palette and just another flat brush. And this is a super shimmery, but it's like a yellow gold. And I'm just going to stamp that right on top of that concealer. This one I found it does take a little bit of layering, but I'm pressing and stamping so that I don't get a ton of fallout. Once I've got kind of a base of the shimmer going, I'm obviously going to build it up a little bit more, but I'm going to go back into that same crease brush and go back into D1 and just start to blend this edge a little bit. I'm going to take in one of the LA Girl Neon eyeliners. It's just their yellow, it's called Screamin'. It's just their yellow shade. And I'm going to apply that on my lower lash line, but not in my waterline. And I'm going to take a really tiny flat brush and dip it into the No Joke shade from the Jaclyn Hill palette and apply that right on top of it to start to blend out that lower lash line. And then I'm going to take that crease brush and just kind of buff out the bottom. I'm going to go in with the NYX Vivid Brights liner. This is in Vivid Envy. It looks like it's a lot brighter than it actually comes off at. It actually dries pretty dark, so I will go over top and kind of blend it with a powder. And I'm just going to wing it out. And then I'm sure this will scare some of you, but I am going to take this liquid eyeliner and put it in my waterline. You just have to be very careful with this. It sometimes will run. So now I kind of got the wings where they want it. They're close-ish. I'm going to take up that same little small brush and I'm going to go into this pale green color. It's A2 in this palette. And I'm gonna kind of just soften the edge, and it'll also lighten that green a bit, because the green in her dress is like a really pale green. Alright, so now that I've got the eyeballs done, I'm gonna go in with a little bit of blush. I just wanted to do kind of like a pink corally color, so it's not too harsh. With blush, I always apply it on, like, I don't smile the whole time because my face falls. I have the epitome of like RBF. So a little trick is to smile first to get the idea of where the apples of your cheeks are, and then drop. And so you kind of still keep that blush in that place. And a trick that a friend of mine taught me a long time ago is just sweeping motions back and forth. So almost like circulars, going one way and then going the other way. And that'll help keep that dimension to the cheek. Okay, I feel like I don't have much longer because my face is officially melting off. So I'm gonna go in and line my lips. So this is with Morphe. I think it's the shade Bay. And I'm gonna go in with Dolce Vita from NARS. It's a really good like neutral brown. Alright, so I feel like that is my Marge inspired look. It's a little crazy, yellow and green. What am I doing with my life? I feel like if you ever do like a look like this that's super crazy on top, just make sure and keep the lip really neutral. I do feel like it's giving me like sports team vibes, and I don't know how I feel about it. Actually, I feel like there's one thing that could kind of tie the whole look together. So just 1 second. I think it's good, right? Well, it ties together, it's great. Alright, thank you so much for tuning in again this week. If you've been watching every video so far all the way through, just know that I'm super grateful for you, and I'm excited to see what happens next. Obviously next week it will be different. I'm not sure what I'm going to do just yet, but like I said at the beginning, I've got to change things up now. But yeah, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next week.